This is Knitting with a capital K, and I am Bethany. Today is day 5 of Vlogmas. I didn't do the normal format I've been doing because yesterday I had this migraine, and today the kids and I just got some donuts and, chilled out today. I did do one fun thing that I'll tell you about, but what I am going to be doing today is basically do a cast on party. So if you have gifts you still need to cast on, you just haven't been able to do it, pause, get yourself a drink, grab your yarn and your needles, and we'll do that together. Some of you might be thinking, oh my word, why is she just now casting on gifts? It's December 1st. Well, because I just got my head around what I want to do. So if you are also a procrastinator, or if you're just a super fast knitter, which I am not, so that might be your reason for not getting things on the needles yet, then great. Join me for the cast party and cast party. It sounded like we had finished a show together. I have a pair of socks and a hat and, well, actually I have 2 pairs of socks and a hat to cast on. And then I might cast on a pair of socks for myself and a sweater for myself because I have not had the time, not that I want to get the sweater or done before Christmas or anything for myself, but I keep finding myself in the evening, our front room is really dark, like squinting and wanting to cast on that sweater because the kids have gone to bed, and what I should really be doing is either do it in the morning before they wake up, but that would be, really early in the morning so that I have a lot of light, or I should do it like now in the craft room, guest room with a lot of light in here. So I'm going to be casting on, the first thing I'm going to be casting on is the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo Socks by Kay Jones. I'm going to drink some of this cider because I just warmed it up again in the microwave from earlier today. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo Socks are by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. If you haven't checked out her podcast, well, I say her podcast, it's also Dan's podcast. They're just cute in and of themselves, and these are the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo Socks. They've got this cool texture on there. I'm trying to see if it's focusing when my face is like, but when my face is gone, I can't tell because I can't see it. All right, that took about 90 minutes for me to do this. Isn't that crazy? All right, and people wonder why knit and crocheted objects would be so expensive for you to buy, especially if you were doing things in fingering weight yarn. Holy moly. This is why it is a craft of love. All right. So I got 2 pattern repeats on this one done. So I would say this is at a less fiddly point. I need to do 4 more for the cuff to be done. Great. This one, I've just done the cast on row and row 1, but I'm going to need to move on and cast on the Musselburgh for my friend. That one is super fiddly at the beginning. It starts with this pinhole cast on, and it's just very fiddly until you get a few increased rows in. This one, I'm going to be using this for the main color and this for the heels and toes, just the heels and toes. I'm starting out got some wool in my mouth. Gross. I'm going to be starting out with the main color. I would definitely have enough to do cuffs, toes, and socks with this. And maybe at some point, you know, I'll use that for something. I definitely will at some point use that for something else. But for this moment here, I think the little lacework stuff that's happening here, which once it blocks out is going to be super cute, is going to look nice with the lighter yarn. I think it'll be more clear that way. So there we go. Boopity bobbity boo socks cast on. So I asked you guys on Instagram which alpaca I should hold with the mulberry colorway here, because this is what I'm going to do with this Musselburgh. What's great about the Musselburgh is that since it's a tube, like this, I'm wearing one now. I even have another one for myself that I'm knitting again, and so it's just a tube. So whatever ends, like you're weaving in your ends, don't have to be pretty or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is a half and half, kind of, with a few stripes in there. I told her the color options I had, and she was basically like, yeah, I like all of those. So I'm going to do the Musselburgh is supposed to be reversible. So I'm going to do these two together, and then I'm going to do this striped a few times. I don't know. I'm going to do maybe 2 rows and then do a few rows in the mulberry and then do 2 rows again and see how far. This is 10 grams, so it's not going to take me super far. Probably just stripe it until it's gone. And I asked y'all on Instagram if I should hold the mulberry with this onyx Surrey alpaca or this ruby red, and it was exactly split down the middle. Which is the second time that's happened when I've asked you guys for help with the choice. But I was thinking about how I probably, and I'm going to hold this one with the stripes for here. So it'll all just be pretty great. I also prefer, with my next one here, I was holding the alpaca with the beginning, because for some reason my make ones have these gaps. You can see here, there's like these little holes with my make ones, and if I remember correctly, those are supposed to be invisible increases, and for me they are anything but. I'm still thinking I need to see what I might be doing wrong there. You know how it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit the inside, which is going to be this with the yellow stripes, and I'm going to put this with it because on camera this shows up really well for what the color really is, but when the lighting isn't as great, it just looks kind of dark. So I think this will help bring out some of those mulberry tones even in some darker lighting. And then with this on the outside, she wears black a lot. She's just a spooky gal, and I love that about her. And so I'm wondering if holding the alpaca with it on the outside will just make it super fuzzy and like a lint trap or not. I don't know. Also double alpaca on your hat? Will it just be stifling and super hot? Maybe. So I think I'm not going to hold it with this. I think I'm going to save this for another day and just do the outside with this one and do, so start with these so that my increases are on the inside and do this on the outside with the decreases. That's my plan. So off we go. Get my DPNs and get started. Cast on number 2. I'm probably going to wear my little squishy thimble here as I go because I'm starting to get some of my skin is wearing away on the top of my finger. So here we go. Okay, this one took way less time because it's not as many stitches, obviously, as the one before. And you can see it's still pretty fiddly, but we're to the point where it's the same increase repeat until it turns into just stockinette. So I can handle that. And I actually need to finish my other Musselburgh before I can put it on a circular needle, I believe. Because I have a 16-inch 4mm circular needle, bamboo fixed circular needle, but I did this one on that needle. Very comfortable to do. But the one that I'm doing right now, it was pretty stretched on that needle. So I switched it to the interchangeables with an 8-inch cord. And that was a lot more comfortable. Now, the farther you go on the stockinette, the more give you're going to have with it. But once you get to the stockinette, it's nice to be able to say goodbye to these double pointed needles. And I don't do a true pinhole cast on. So if you were looking at the Musselburgh and you thought, no, I just don't want to deal with that pinhole cast on, I don't do that. I just do a knitted cast on and I join it in the round, and it's super duper fiddly, as anything is with, you know, a minimal amount of stitches that you cast on. And then I just take my tail end and treat it like the end of the hat and just put it through my cast on stitches and pull it and then weave it in back there. And I'm just going to leave this because when I knit the tube, no one will be able to see it, and that's fine. I could snip it, but I feel like when I block it, it'll be good not to do that. So this one we will also count as cast on. I am hoping to get socks cast on for each of my kids before Christmas. I think having a pair of knit socks in your stocking just sounds like the cutest thing ever. But this is the first year that I have even thought about doing it. So, yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish that, especially with the adult socks and hat that I am wanting to finish. But I am very intrigued to see how quickly I can get those things done if I treat my evening time with those, because I do knit quite a bit throughout the day with my kiddos. I stay at home a lot. Well, today I didn't. Today we were out a lot, and that was because I told you I was going to talk to you about this. That was because I was part of a yarn and tea exchange this year, which I'm really excited about. And I went to my local yarn store because I feel like that's the best gifts to give, are from places that you know, the person you're giving something to, they wouldn't have an opportunity to go to where you are. So I went there and I got this great little gift set and sent some tea, and even one of my favorite holiday traditions is the melty snowmen from Trader Joe's. I love those. They're just so great. And I got 6 from my father-in-law this year, so I gifted one to her. And I don't think I will gift any more to anyone at all because I like them so much. But anyway, put those in there and sent them off. And she sent me the tracking number for my gift, and I sent her the tracking number for her gift. So it's just going to be really great. When I get it, I'm definitely going to show you guys what it is. But that took us a long time today to get what I wanted from the yarn store, because I also got the Surrey alpaca while I was there too. And so that I could cast on that Musselburgh tonight. And then we had to go to the post office, and just going those 2 places with 4 children is, it just takes a long time. Everything takes a long time. So anyway, but most of the time I stay home with my kids, and a lot of times I have time to knit while I'm helping them with their school, or just talking with them, or even while they play outside. And it's I have these crazy knitting goals sometimes because of it. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to be casting on some baby tube socks. They're called that because they are just a tube. They don't have a heel. And the reason, do you see like how it spirals like that? And that's because the way it works is wherever the baby's heel is the sock just gives in that point. Now you could do that by just knitting a tube and stockinette. It's elastic enough that it could do that. And that's where the term tube sock comes from, is that it didn't used to have a heel. Nowadays in stores they do for some reason. I don't know. It just kind of means high sock. But it used to mean tube sock, so that no matter what length your foot was, you could wear that sock. So this is meant for little kids because they grow so quickly. And but it looks like the knits and purls are in a spiral. And I'm trying to look and see if, because it looks like there's some twisted rib going on there. We'll see. Yeah. So it's just a leg and a toe is what it is. So I'm going to, I had put this red yarn in there because that's what my little girl had requested for her socks. But I've already made her a pair of socks this year. And my littlest one is the only one that I haven't made a pair of socks for this year. So I am going to take this one, because this is the same yarn that there it goes. This is the same yarn that I knit a pair of socks for his brother in, and I think it would be totally adorable if they had some matching socks. So I'm going to cast this on and see. I will probably need to use my double pointed needles for this because this looks small. Yeah, because they're working in centimeters here in length. That's a little crazy. Okay. One thing that I think is a little crazy, I'm just going to talk to you about this pattern because it's free, is it says for a 12 to 18 month sock to cast on 56 stitches. Now, obviously, it's pretty ribbed, right? So it's going to be really elastic. But I cast on 50, maybe 56 stitches, maybe 52 for my 5-year-old socks. And that worked out really well for her. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about how this will turn out, because it's supposed to be on 2.5 millimeters. So we shall see, friends. We shall see. But I'm excited to see. And we will, we'll see how they work out. I might, because it's such a small circumference, I might just do them one at a time, because I'm running out of needles. I was hoping to cast on a pair of Advent socks for myself this evening, but I might have to wait to do that because, I'm just running out of needles over here. We shall see. I'll cast these on and then go on the hunt for another pair, maybe. We'll see. All right, I've moved to the bed because it is almost midnight, which means that this casting on needs to stop. It needs to stop. So I've done a few rows here, enough at least that my stitches won't fall off. I'm supposed to do this 2x2 rib for 2 centimeters, which is just over 3/4 of an inch, which will be super easy to get done. I am struggling a little bit with how to manage my time with these gifts, because selfishly I want to finish the projects that I have on the needles for myself. Especially because I often am in charge of my own time and just do the projects that I want throughout the day. I think, oh, well, there are 16 working hours in a day. That's a lot of knitting. And that's true. However, I also need to take care of my kids, and I should probably fold the mountain of laundry that's on my couch. And just in case, my kids want to be able to find their clothes, things like that. Anyway, I'm sure I'm not the only one who deals with unrealistic expectations in their life and in their knitting. So I am realizing that more and more. And it's not necessarily because I'm not the fastest knitter, even though I'm not the fastest knitter. I think even if I was, my expectations would just rise even more. Oh, well, that's the sign. I better go to bed. And this will be the end of day 6. Wow, we're almost at a week. Heavens above. Got things to get done.